Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's talk about something that's probably on the mind of anyone running AI in production: the cost. It's a huge deal, and if you get it wrong, well, the consequences can be pretty severe. So let's dive right in. So let's start with this idea, because it really changes the game. Think about it. With traditional IT, you buy a server, right? Your costs are pretty much fixed. But AI, it's a completely different beast. It's pay-per-use. Every single query, every API call, it adds to the bill. That meter is always, and I mean always, running.
And this is where we see a brand new kind of business risk pop up. You dream of your new chatbot going viral, right? Well, that success could actually become a financial nightmare, costing you more in a single day than you budgeted for the whole month. Or what about a simple bug? A little silent retry loop could just be siphoning thousands of dollars out of your account before anyone even has a clue. It's a totally different cost structure, and you've got to approach it with a new mindset.
Okay, so we've talked about accidents and unexpected success. But what if it's not an accident? What if someone could intentionally crank that meter up? This is exactly where a financial headache morphs into a full-blown security threat. Suddenly, it's not about a bug. It's about a malicious actor who is deliberately trying to empty your pockets. Your budget just became a vulnerability. So this brings us to a really specific and frankly kind of scary threat. It's called the denial of wallet attack. And listen, if you have any public-facing AI service, you absolutely need to know what this is. So you've probably heard of a denial of service attack, right? The goal there is to crash your servers with a flood of traffic. Well, a denial of wallet attack is different. The goal isn't to crash your system, it's to crash your budget. It literally weaponizes your own billing system against you, bleeding you dry until your funds run out and the service has to shut down anyway. Let's just put them side by side to make it super clear. A classic denial of service, or DOS attack, that's all about overwhelming your system's capacity with traffic. But a denial of wallet attack, DOW, that goes straight for your bank account. The end result is pretty much the same. Your service goes down. But the weapon here isn't technical, it's financial. And that makes it a much sneakier and maybe even more damaging way to attack.
And look, this isn't just some theory we're kicking around. This is real. One company got a bill for this much, $120,000 in a single month.
Yeah, that number, that was the real-life bill for an e-commerce company. They had this AI chatbot, the kind that uses RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation, to pull in answers from their products catalog. Well, it went viral. And because they didn't have any real cost controls or monitoring in place, their token costs just exploded. It's a perfect example of how fast a really useful tool can turn into a massive financial liability. Okay, so how do you stop this from happening to you? I mean, you can't just pull the plug on your AI projects. The answer is to build a smart, layered defense. We're talking about putting up some serious budget guardrails for your AI operations. A really solid strategy is going to need all four of these layers. First, you've got the emergency brake, your hard limits. These are the absolute, non-negotiable, stop-everything-now cutoffs. Then, you've got your early warning system, soft limits, and alerts that tell you when things are getting a little heated. Next, you get more sophisticated with cost-based rate limiting, which slows down really expensive requests. And finally, you have architectural controls, which is about designing for efficiency from the very beginning. But here's the thing, great cost management isn't just about playing defense. It's also about being proactive, about optimizing your systems for maximum efficiency, without, and this is key, without sacrificing what they can do. And honestly, this is where you're going to find some of the biggest wins. One of the absolute best ways to do this is with a tiered model strategy, or just right-sizing. Think about it. Does every single question a user asks need your top-of-the-line, most expensive AI model? Of course not. You can use smaller, way cheaper models for, say, 80 or 90% of the simple stuff. And you only bring out the big guns, the expensive model, when you absolutely have to. Just doing this one thing can save you a fortune. And the savings don't stop there, not by a long shot. There are other tricks too. At the query level, just making your prompts a little shorter and more efficient, that can cut your token usage by up to 40%. Caching answers to common questions so you don't have to generate them every single time, that's another 20% or more. And for training new models, oh man, using transfer learning instead of building from scratch can slash your costs by an incredible 70 to 90%. These are huge numbers. Okay, let's pull back and look at the big picture for a minute. Putting all these controls in place is great, but it's not a set it and forget it kind of deal. To really make this stick, you need to turn cost control into a continuous, sustainable practice. And that means integrating it into your company's FinOps or financial operations. You've heard the old saying, you can't manage what you don't measure, and it has never been more true than with AI. It is absolutely essential that you tie your AI spending back to actual business value. So don't just look at the total monthly bill. Instead, start tracking things like cost per resolved support ticket or cost per qualified sales lead. This is how you actually prove the ROI, and it's how you make smart decisions about where to invest. All right, so let's wrap this up with the 3 big things to remember. Number 1, AI costs are not like your old IT costs. They're variable and they scale with every use. Number 2, those budget guardrails we talked about, they aren't just nice to haves. They are a core part of your cyber defense, non-negotiable. And finally, number 3, continuous governance and optimization. That's the secret sauce that turns AI from a scary cost center into something that drives real, sustainable value. And that brings us right back to where we started. Right now in your organization, that AI meter is running. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Do you know who's in the driver's seat? Are you the one setting the destination and watching the fare? Or is there a chance someone else is taking you for a very, very expensive ride?